Hi, my name is Lisa Tench. Today is 10/20, I'm sorry, 10 05 2000 2011. Today is a day that I have been very good concerned about. Um, and still, a lot of tapes has been done that I'm doing on YouTube. I try my very best to stay on key point. Um, so if I seem like I get kind of hyper, I get very, very hyper when I get to talking about certain things. Um, this is really concern of mine that I have is with hit spots and things, but I am going to continue to do these YouTube videos, um, telling my story about the process and everything that I have gone through in these last 6 years. Has not been most easy years here in Clayton County. Um, there has been painful years, still is, but I managed to go through them. One of the things that I will say today is that I have a lot of information and things has been real clear to me. One of the things is clear now. I kind of put the icing on the cake. First of all, we request for mediation concerning the house being demolition. Um, we did. The judge did so order granted that the county. Then we did it twice, and the third time the staff attorney Michael Smith resigned from Clayton County. Um, so therefore, that was put back, and so continue to try to set mediation, but they would pretend like they didn't have an attorney to represent mediation. So my thing was they had one there, Miss Christy Cross Barnes. She was there, so why couldn't she carry it out? That's the way I looked at it. She'd been involved in it all the time, so she could have done that too. She had me and Christy Bond and staff attorney Pam Epridge. If I call her name wrong, I'm sorry, but she's Pam Epridge is one of the outside attorney that represent Clayton County. Also, she's a judge that sit on the bench of Riverdale, and then also she's a defense attorney for the police department. Uh, I've never seen someone had so many positions in one little county. It kind of raised flags with me. Why does she have all these different positions in one county? And these law firms are judges in this county, and the DA and the solicitor in these here little counties, the solicitor, and each one of these counties, when you go to court, it's just a lot of flags be raising out here. But in the meantime, um, so they didn't want to fall through with that. Well, I was very disturbed. I had an attorney to come in just to help me completely out the terms of mediation. And I heard something, that came out in his office. And I'm going to tell you what I really heard. When I was sitting in this office, I heard him say that she wanted to waive my children's rights. That raised a flag with me right then. I'm not waiving my children's rights for no one. And I say it again, for no one. Because my children had to go through a lot of this here with me. My children was a part of this. This is the reason why my fight continued going. Yeah, ruin their life and continue to ruin their life. Um, my son has to sleep on a chair. I've been doing it for the last 3 years. We packed up in a place not like our home. We packed up in like sardines, and they put me in this apartment with no furniture, no nothing. We had to sleep on the floor. They rented furniture for a minute and reneged off of that, and I have said that in several videos. But they reneged on that, so it left me with nothing. I mean, not a pot, not a pan, a dishcloth, or anything. When we came in here, we had one week of clothes, and that's what we went in the hotel thinking that we was gonna go back in our home with 1 week of clothes. So it's almost like we had to start life all over again. I had nothing. I mean, not even a dishcloth to take a bath with or anything. I mean, we were just stripped naked. I mean, stripped. And so I had to go out and, just start life all over again. And I'm so used to having everything that I needed for many years. And I had been left my parents' home at the age of 16. So being leaving home at an early age, used to having everything you needed, and then to feel like you got to start all over again, that was a big draft back there. And then having children, you know, from a marriage into children, you're used to having what you need, and to be able to have your own home, not live in an apartment. So this is my first time ever to live in an apartment. Uh, I was raised in a parents home, and we never did live in an apartment. So this was something totally new for me. The first time for everything, but I endured it. I know how to make it work. Try to make it work. But one of the things I try to do is to pay my bills. I always done that, try to pay my bills. And so you couldn't believe that I paid my bills and tried to do the best I can with whatever I had. But in the meantime, I'm gonna try to get a little bit of this in what's going through right now. I been forced to be evicted again, and being forced to be evicted, I've been paying this rent for this apartment when the Board of Commission reneged last year, August of 2010, reneged from not paying the bills, left me with 30, almost $4,000 rent, $1,000 light bill, and I had to get up, the money and try to maintain his staying here where I'm at. And I mean, they stopped in court and nothing was said. That's on the court papers as well. And wind up we staying here, been paying the rent constantly. I mean, on time. And for some reason, another manager come in and I mean, it's just like the counter all over again. I'm being evicted, and then the rent was being paid, but I'm being evicted because she decided that she was going to have my car towed and messed that up and caused some serious problem behind that between Terra Towing and the apartment complex that I live in. It's in a battle now. She really messed the car up real bad. And also, uh, with all that, coming up to the school, Clayton County school system. Been battling with that. With, um, the principal has a problem with me. It's not with my child. When they have a problem with you, it always rain down to your children. Wants me out the school because I believe in asking questions. And there's some things going on in the school that if you say something to me in writing, I just call it like it is. If you said it to me in writing, let's do what you say you're gonna do. But you cannot operate a school or a business or anything. And most people know Clayton County has had their run in with not operating right, and it's still not operating right. And I don't know if this is coming down from the county and ruling all over into the school system, but I do believe it is. And it has also run down from the county to Fulton County. I have some problem with just messing with my children now, and I'm saying this voicely. Why must mess with the children just because of what I say? You know, uh, I'm raising children to honor and respect the law. They respect it, but that don't mean they have to go along with your crooked ideas and your crooked ways. Now we're not going to deal with that. I don't go along with it. I'm not going to teach them to go along with it. But in the meantime, I'm going to the school today, so I'm sending it out. But in the meantime, I have some information that I like to share. Um, the information that I have that I can feel kind of comfortable now. I have found out in 2007 that Rod Gray from the Central Service has contracted my house out to the demolition company. Rod Gray from Central Service, I have the contract that he contracted my house out to Central Service. And he got it from the fire department, and the board was fully aware of it. And so Captain Landry Murphison was the CC, the coordinator over my home. And that means that the fire department and the fire chief and them was all aware of it, and they had closed meeting concerning this house. The board was fully aware of it. They had a vote on it behind closed doors. And the only person did not vote to have my house demolition was Miss Virginia Gray Burden. And that was my district. That's the district Gail Hamburg is in. She was the only person said that she didn't think that the county had no right to put their hands on that house. She would turn it right back over to HUD, let HUD handle that. And I think that was the smartest thing that she could ever done. But there was a closed meeting, and I think Miss Virginia knew because she's a real estate agent, and she knew if they was touching that house and there was a FHA mortgage on that house and that was a HUD loan on that house, she knew they can run into some serious problem with that house by the fire chief was taken over to have that house demolished. So she didn't want no parts of it, and it was a vote that she did not vote for it. But therefore, my chairman, you did know what was going on. Therefore, Rahule, Sonia Singleton, and Michael Edmonds, you all knew what was going on with this house. You knew when the fire chief brought this idea to you all should have known better. You also have an inspector from HUD inspector, who also quoted in a letter that, in a memo, and I have that copy of the memo, saying that the fire chief, he spoke this here, he had spoken with Captain Landry Murphison. Murphison said, spoken with Captain Landry Murphison said that the fire chief was looking in ways to have this house destroyed and rebuilt back. Now, for an inspector from HUD, Gus Matas, that's his name, Gus Matas, from him to say something like that, I questioned his boss about that. If he is an inspector to say something like that, he should have first had an inspector from HUD to come out and look at this house and see was this house was livable, and turn it in the hands of HUD and let HUD make that decision, not him dictate and say that to a fire chief. He could not, because there was a loan on that house and he knew so. So when I questioned them about why wasn't an inspector give a approval, why didn't HUD give a approval letter saying it's okay, clear the mortgage up, put it in writing, and do all this in writing before they even proceed, even go forward into demolishing this home? Well, none of that. The FHA, because it had FHA insurance on this house, the FHA give them the approval to demolish this house. No, it was not. Did the state come in and do anything? No, they did not. So did they have a code to demolish this house? No, they did not. Did they even contact the tax commissioner that this house was going to be? No, they did not. Did I go before a judge and give me the 45 days or whatever days, 120 days to bring this house up to standard code before you made that decision? No, that was not. Did I even sign the application? There was 3 applications you have to sign. There's a long process before you can demolish your house. There is a process. It could be 6 months. It could be a 6-month period of time before you can do anything like that. Did that take place? No, that did not. So, therefore, the county fire department, Captain Landry Murphison, Alex Cohelis, and Rod Gray, you all have done something that has not been done legally and right. And therefore, Miss Tracy, DA Office of Clayton County, you need to take this up. Sheriff Kimbrough, this is going to you. You need to handle this. FBI, GBI need to be involved in this. Or some commissioners needs to be questioned by someone about